Hey y'all, welcome back to Kills the Seal. Oh, yo, get hype. Back with another topics video, weekly Sunday. A little late, as usual, but fashion real late. You gotta love it. Yeah, but today we'll be talking about, more topics. Specifically, we'll be talking about, nothing really. I'm not gonna read depressing today. I'm home right now, I'm on spring break. Everything's great. I'm almost done school for the year. Let's not be depressing. Let's not talk about relationships. Let's not talk about, depression. Let's not talk about, being unsure about your future, etc., etc. Let's talk about what makes you happy. What makes you happy? Is it media? Is it your culture? Is it your family? Maybe it's your girlfriend, your boyfriend. Unfortunately, maybe it's the people that you surround yourself with, your friends. Maybe it's drugs. Maybe it's substance. Maybe it's video games. I guess that's media. Anyway, whatever it is, I'm glad it makes you happy. However, let's talk about what isn't good for you. How you know it's not good for you, and how to find things that will make you happy and give yourself motivation to keep doing those things. So to begin with, what isn't good for you? Well, what isn't good for you is something that is limiting you to do something. So say you're doing a certain drug or you're talking to certain people and those people aren't letting you talk to certain people. Oh, sorry about the mic. I don't know why that happened. Those people aren't letting you talk to certain people, or maybe those people aren't letting you think a certain way or do certain things, or maybe you're doing something like drugs. Maybe those drugs are limiting you from being happy. Maybe they're making you socially awkward or unaware of your surroundings because you're always high all the time, or maybe you're doing a lot of activities that are limiting you to do what you really want to do. Say, hang out with friends too much and you really just want to sit back, play video games, or maybe you're, again, hanging out with friends too much, but you want to explore the world. Maybe you want to go to like another state for a couple weeks, but your friends don't want to go with you, and you choose your friends over that. And frankly, sometimes you need a break from your friends, and you need to find new people to hang out with. And I think everybody can agree that that is totally acceptable. Anyway, yeah, you just anything that limits you in what you want to do in the moment is most likely bad for you, unless it's something self-destructive. Like, say you want to do drugs, but your friends are like, no, you're not going to do those. That is most likely a good thing. It's keeping you from having bad habits. But anything that's keeping you from thinking a certain way, as in like, man, I really like the color blue, and they're like, you can't like the color blue. Something like just stupid. It's very bad for you. So try to disconnect or make them think a different way to further your happiness and your the way you think and your culture, your personality, everything. So that's a quick, brief overview. But then let's talk about what makes you happy. I think I said that. I think I said what makes you happy is the second step. I can't remember. It was how do you know what makes you happy, and then how to keep that motivation. Okay, so specifically what makes you happy? For me, I like to. I have. For me it's a little different. I have this flip-flop personality where one night or one day I'll be doing certain things, like playing video games and just staying inside, and I love that. But then the next, I'll be doing the same thing. I'll be like, wow, I really just don't like this. Like, I want to go out and do something. I've been doing this for too long, or I feel like I need to do something with, my life, quote unquote, personally, that has an impact on others, or has an impact on myself more positively with my culture or the things around me. So I'm a little different, but for most people, it's I feel like they feel one way about certain things and they add on to it. So say I want to, start art. I have nowhere to go, but I love looking at art and I'm so inspired. Whenever I look at art, I'm inspired to just draw, just like try it, do it. Just try art, try drawing, try painting something, even if it's digital. Anything that helps, just go ahead and do it. Who cares if yeah, it's gonna be hard to start out, but who cares if you're embarrassed about like your first things? Everybody's got to start somewhere. Nobody was born perfect with natural creative talent in drawing. You have to create that, and I mean, granted, it's gonna be work, but if you really enjoy it, it won't be work. Another thing is, you know, if you want to go to a different country or a different place, or say you want to, start doing something in a hobby with that requires monetary, restrictions. You're like saying, oh no, I can't do it because it's too much money, or it's not very financially good on my end. Well, think about it like this, and this is like a more depressing way, I feel, but in the end, you have to look at it as like a good thing. Think about it like this: you could die tomorrow. Unfortunately, it's a fact of life, but you could die tomorrow. You could get hit by a bus if you're crossing the street and you look both ways, but then all of a sudden it comes down, boom, done. Or maybe you get really sick. Maybe you get COVID and you fall illness and you die. The point is, you can die very easily. You're not as powerful and immune as you think. And if you have the funds to do something, do it. Granted, I think you should be responsible. You do have you should still plan for your future. But, if you feel like if you have enough money for your future and you have the funds to do it, do the thing you want to do. Go out to that other country. Go out to the other state. Invest in those speakers, those huge speakers. Invest in that car part for your dream car that you're developing. Maybe that computer. Maybe you're a gamer. Maybe you're a streamer. Invest in those stream decks, those GPUs, CPUs, even with the scalp prices nowadays. If you're like me, like interested in making servers, start learning that knowledge and invest that money into it. Maybe find some old garage parts or computer parts that you have or some family members have and just make something with it. Have fun with it. Don't just let it sit there and rot while you're just sitting there like thinking to yourself, why am I not happy? Find a hobby. Get yourself busy. Because sitting and waiting for something to happen is an unfortunate it's unfortunately not gonna work. It's not gonna work with society today, and unless you're super rich and people want to come to you and give you things and are interested in you 24/7, you have to find those interests and do them yourself. You can't sit there and wait for things to fall into your lap. And I told you, I said I didn't want to touch on relationships and stuff, but same thing with relationships. If really at the end of the day, like this shouldn't what you should feel, but if at the end of the day you're telling yourself, all I want to be happy is a relationship, right? Anything that nothing else makes me happy except for having a relationship. You need to find self-love and happiness in yourself, and this is how you come up with a hobby, something that will give you that. Maybe it's music production, maybe it's story writing, maybe it's literacy. At the end of the day, if only a relationship is what makes you happy, that's very unhealthy. You need to definitely, get off that train and find something that will benefit you in some way. And two, say it was a healthy thing. It's not, but say it was a healthy thing. The only way you're going to get a girlfriend is if you go out and do it. The likelihood of something just falling in your lap just like that, very, 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 very unlikely. So take it from me, just, do the things you want to do. Go out and do them. There's no harm. There's no harm in learning a few things and being a little embarrassed. Everybody grows up with consequences, quote unquote. But sometimes these lessons, these consequences are a good thing. You learn from your mistakes and you grow and you move on. That's how it is. You can't be stuck in a paralysis of uncertainty. That's just how it is. Being in that paralysis will, you're not ruining your life, but you're wasting time. You only got a certain amount of time in this earth. Why waste it saying, oh, I don't know what to do, I don't know what I want to do, I don't know what the future holds for me? Just do what you want to do, no matter what it is. Like, don't let anybody tell you can't do something. Like, if you want to be like fucking NBA Jam star, do it. Get on there. Start making basketball routines. Start getting a team together. Go to the court all the time. You want to be a computer programmer. You want to be the next big Apple, not Apple, but new company. Like I said, find some parts, find some programs, put them together. Maybe you can write a new OS that's not like Linux or Mac, but Windows. You just make something your own, and it's much better than all of them. Granted, it's going to be very hard in that particular scenario, but because you got to get the programs to work with them. But maybe it's just super optimal and it works with the same coding as Windows. You never know. But yeah, go out there, do it, no matter what you want to do. Maybe you want to become a better singer. First, singing is very easy. First step, just start humming to yourself or just start singing to yourself when you're listening to music. Clearly, if you like singing or you want to be a singer, you listen to music. So just start doing it. Even in your own room, just start doing it. And then more and more, you'll get better. You'll feel it. It'll come to you naturally. You'll find that key. You'll find that pitch. What else? Oh, motivation. Oh, so maybe you're like, but it doesn't matter. I'll never be as good as, X. I'll never be good as Y. And to that, maybe if that's the key thing that's stopping you from doing something, if that's I'll never be as good as Microsoft. I'll never be good as Tim Cook at running a business and, being top of Apple, even though he's not really doing the coding and stuff. I can't really think of big coders. I don't know. Maybe you'll if you say that, I'll never be as good as the top coder or as a mid coder. I'll never be good as Michael Jordan on fucking court, even though he's retired, I'm pretty sure. Don't think that way. Because thinking that you'll never be something will deter you from even trying to be that thing. You're restricting yourself from even trying to get there. You're not even going to put in the work in there. You're just saying, nah, there's no reason. You're being a pessimist and unfortunately nihilist at that point where you believe in nothing. You're just nothing will happen. It's not going to happen. There's no possibility. I just know it for sure. I mean, it's more pessimism, but it's you believe that nothing will happen, nothing will come from it. And to that I say, it's not even the fact of, skill will surely arise from it, but it's the lessons that you'll learn. Say, let's take for basketball, for instance, again. The rules of basketball, the secrets, on the court, shooting, dribbling, movement on the court, maybe the formation on the court, the actual practicality of playing basketball and, the knowledge of it. Maybe the culture is something you really want to be a part of. Sport culture is big now. It has been for a while. I don't know why I said now. Maybe you'll be, excuse me, sorry about that. Maybe you'll be fucking the next podcaster. Maybe you want to be Joe Rogan. I mean, granted, Joe Rogan's kind of crazy, but maybe you want to be like Joe Rogan, where he has his own podcast and he just talked about a bunch of stuff. He got his start from UFC, I'm pretty sure. So, if he can talk about, COVID stuff and random things and become popular and people love him from UFC, you can start it from anything. You could be like Linus Tech Tips. I love that guy. He's so funny and cool, and he's very interesting. He's a very interesting guy. And he started from, just making his own business. Just went in there, I'm pretty sure. And, what I'm saying is, a lot of people have started from very humble beginnings, and you can too. You could be the next big guy. You just gotta really put it in there. You gotta put the work in there. You gotta put the strive. If you really strive for it, you can do anything. You could become an astronaut. You could become a doctor. You could become anything. You just gotta strive for it. You gotta really work for it. And anything's possible. Literally anything is possible if you work for it. You could make a black hole launcher, and if you really work for it, granted, very not likely. Black hole launchers seem kind of crazy, and maybe like a war crime, but like if you really strive with science and backdoor handling and illegal things, probably. I'm not saying you should, but if you wanted to make a black hole launcher, you could technically, I guess, in the realm of possibilities, possibly make it, I guess. So, good luck. Go make a black hole launcher. Come back to me and then shoot me with it, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, you can definitely do it. So, if the big thing that's keeping you away from doing something is, I'll never be this good, or even like social. I'll never be like no, you know what? We'll get to that in a bit. Or so I'll never be this good is keeping you from keeping you from doing something you want to do. Fuck that. Do what you want to do. Forget about it. You'll learn tons of stuff, and maybe if you really work hard enough, if you start to get in that mood where you're like, wow, I just like doing this. Like, man, this is so fun. This is great. This speaks to me. You will get to that because that's your passion. That's you. You're making that into your identity, and obviously you want to make yourself as great as possible, and that's hence forwarding your identity, which is forwarding your activities that you do at the same time, which makes you and the activities you do as great or as complex as possible. So definitely do that, and on to like the conversation, the socially I was talking about. This is kind of a different thing, but very similar. If you're talking to somebody, or you want to talk to somebody, or you're just socially inept or awkward, and you're like, I just don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to start conversations. I don't know what to say. Just be yourself. And, a lot of you hear that and you're like, well, I don't like myself, or, I think myself is weird. I think I'm weird. I don't think people are going to like me for who I am. That's my problem. Well, first of all, like I said before, you won't know until you try, right? If you think other people aren't going to like you for who you are, then you don't like yourself at that point. You think, well, if I don't like myself, other people aren't going to like me. And at that point, you got to change the way you think about yourself. You got to think about yourself like, wow, I like me where I am, or I'm trying to get to where I am, to where I want to be. I'm trying to forward myself in what I think and what I say. And both of those are reputable. And you can straight say that to somebody. You can, say you want to, say you're at work and talking to a coworker, and they strike a conversation with you. And, they're saying, wow, I haven't talked to you, and you're very interesting. You could be like, yeah, no, I just, you could be really real with them, I feel, and be like, hey, I appreciate that. I actually think of myself as, not as interesting as others, but I've been working on myself, and you saying that, makes me feel a lot better. Verbalizing that to somebody random will probably make you feel more confident, but not only that, it'll deepen your relationship with this other person by being real with them. And it's not always the best thing to do to everybody, but if it's somebody you're gonna see a lot, probably the best, probably something that you could do or you should do, because you're gonna see them a lot, so you want to strengthen your bond to be at least comfortable to be with, you know. But yeah, if you're feeling like, you know, socially awkward and you just don't want to talk to these people, or you don't, or you want to talk to these people but you don't know how to, what I would say to that is, you know, feel comfortable in your own skin, feel comfortable about yourself and your characteristics, your personality. If you're not comfortable with your personality, try to change it. But if you're saying, you know, this is true to me, like I'm being as me myself, you know, like I'm a crazy guy, you know, I like to do crazy things. Well, at that point, you have to act as yourself. You gotta just go up to some people and be like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? You see the Undertale game? I like sand so much. And then you just start acting really stupid, and you know, and then you try to be funny. Maybe some people aren't gonna like that, but at the end of the day, you're gonna find, if you keep trying, somebody's gonna like that, and they're gonna think you're really funny, and they're gonna be like, wow, you know, this guy, he's kind of based. This guy's kind of goofy. I'm gonna stick around this guy. It's not the best. I can't think on my toes. That's not the best example. But what I'm trying to say is, there's definitely people for other people, and you'd be surprised how big, you know, you think your niche group actually is. You know, like you'd be surprised how many people actually, you know, do the thing that you do, even if you think that group is small. So yeah, definitely, you know, talk about your interests with people. That's a conversation opener. Maybe talk about, you know, world going ons, and then that goes into the interests or conversation. Or, you know, ask them about their interests. Like, you know, if you don't know how to start a conversation, be like, hey, you know, how are you? And they're like, oh, I'm pretty good. It's like, you know, I know this is weird to bring up, but like, what do you like to do? You know, I just trying to start a conversation. You say that, it's like, hey, I just want to get to know you more. Like, what do you like doing? And that, you know, start a whole conversation. You actually act, or at least, you know, you try to be genuinely interested, and you ask these questions, and you keep going on with these questions, and surely enough, you'll have a natural conversation going, which will keep both you and the person you're talking to engaged. So yeah, I hope that helped. This is kind of a longer video, but yeah, I hope that helped. I want to say one thing before I go. A lot of people that actually know me and know my like video schedule, I guess, when I say like I'm posting a video, even if they say it as a joke, like they're excited for it, it does mean a lot to me. It makes me keep going with these, and I appreciate the help and appreciate encouragement. So thank you. Anyway, have a good night.